What's up, YouTube? This is me, Asian Dave, aka Fanatical for Jesus, aka Dawei, aka David Chu. Alright, I'm coming to you real quick. I want to talk about Reformed theology, but I want to talk specifically about the T in the acronym TULIP. For those of you that's never heard of Reformed theology or Calvinism or the acronym TULIP, it stands for Total Depravity, Unconditional Election, Limited Atonement, Irresistible Grace, and Perseverance of the Saints. Right now, I just want to talk about the T, Total Depravity. Pretty much what this doctrine is the doctrine of sin, the doctrine of humanity, pretty much sinful humanity. And it says that since the fall of Adam, who is our covenant head, our federal head, when he fell, all of humankind fell in Adam. We are all sinfully depraved because of what Adam did. And our natural desires are to hate God and to hate our neighbor, like the Heidelberg Catechism says. Our natural desires are to hate God and to hate our neighbor. That's just who we naturally are. Because of the fall, King David said it perfectly himself. He said, "In sin did my mother conceive me." We are all born into sin. There's no such thing as an innocent human being. We are born sinful from birth. Babies are not innocent. I know it's going to come as a shocker to a lot of people, even Christians, when I say that babies are not innocent. They're not born innocent. They are born just as sinfully depraved as everybody else. You could say, babies never did anything. They never committed any sins. No, you do not. It's not that you commit sins and that makes you a sinner. No, you sin because you are a sinner. You see the difference? We don't become sinners when we sin. No, we are sinners, and that's what makes us sin. Being a sinner is in our nature. And those of you who try and say, "Oh, well, I do good things," and no, your good things are like filthy rags, like dirty tampons in God's sight. That's pretty much what your good deeds are. And the reason for this is because no good deed is done with pure altruistic motives. Every single one of us, when we do quote unquote good things, we do them out of selfish motives. And you can try and justify yourself all you want and say, "Oh no, I do good things for the good of humanity." No, you don't. No, you don't. You do good things for other reasons too. I'm not saying that the good of other people isn't one of the reasons why you do what you do, but every good deed is tainted with selfish motives. Every single one of us are selfish human beings. There is no one who is completely 100% selfless. And if you try and claim that you are, well then you're a liar. And lying is breaking one of the 10 commandments. I admit, I'm not a good person. I admit that. There's no such thing as a good person. If you were to take my thoughts and put them up on a projector and record and the projector showed every single thought I ever had in my entire life, I would be so embarrassed I would never show my face in public ever again. And that's not just me, every single one of you. If I was to pick out any random person that watches this video and take your thoughts and put them on a projector, I guarantee you there will be things that will be exposed that you have thought that are so nasty and so vile that you would never want to show your face in public. If I was to show the thoughts that you have against your best friend will never be your best friend ever again. He wouldn't even want to talk to you ever again. So every single one of us have thought things and have done things that pretty much are evil. There is no such thing as a good person. Even Mother Teresa wasn't a good person. She may have done some good things, but they weren't done out of good motives. She has selfish motives too. And the thing is, people like to point out people like Hitler and say, "Oh, they're the most evil people in the world." No, because of total depravity, every single one of us has it in us to do exactly what Hitler did and maybe even worse than what Hitler did. The only reason why we're not as evil as we can be is because God's hand of grace is restraining the evil in our hearts. Every now and then God will lift up his finger off of an individual though and let that person act out their sinful desires. And when that person does, it shows the rest of the world just how sinfully depraved humanity really is. Like, and it's just, this is gonna come. I know this is gonna come as a shocker, even to many Christians, because a lot of Christians don't want to acknowledge this. It makes people feel uncomfortable, but it's the truth. It's exactly what the Bible teaches. And total depravity not only affects our vertical relationship with God, but also affects our horizontal relationship with other people. Because, like I said earlier in the video, our natural inclination as totally depraved sinners is to hate God and to hate our neighbor. Those are our natural inclinations. And unless God comes down and regenerates us and makes us into new creations, that is exactly what we will do. We will continue to hate God and continue to hate our neighbor. Because that's just who we naturally are. And like Paul said, the natural man is at enmity with God. We are enemies of God. The natural man is an enemy of God. And it's just, this is a doctrine that is really difficult for a lot of Christians to accept, because a lot of Christians don't want to accept the idea that they're sinfully depraved, because a lot of Christians want to say that they do have good in them, that they do good things. But if you're truly a Christian and you truly understand your sinful nature and your sinful depravity, then like this doctrine is a very humbling doctrine, because there's no room for being self-righteous when you realize that you're a sinfully depraved human being. How can you be self-righteous when you acknowledge that you're a vile sinner? There's no self-righteousness in that. There's no Phariseeism in that, because that puts you on the same playing field as every single other person on earth. And every single one of us are in the same boat, because every single one of us are sinfully depraved human beings. Anyway, so I know this video isn't going to be very popular. A lot of people are going to take offense to what I said in this video, but it needs to be said. It needs to be talked about. And yeah, like, it really does. Anyway, so I'm going to do this video series on the acronym TULIP. The next video I'm going to make is going to be on the U of TULIP, which is unconditional election. So stay tuned for that video. Anyways, have a good day. God bless you. And stay awesome, Gotham. Deuces.